We often hear this phrase, finish strong. And I love that phrase because it puts the ownership on you to take action now for the future results that you want to achieve. And so, as we get ready to round out 2023, I really want to admonish you to finish strong. There's some things that you desire, there's some things that you want to accomplish, and it's the action that you take today that's going to make a world of difference as we get ourselves ready to go into a new year. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you some guidance on how you can finish strong. So let's get into it. For the longest time, I secretly wanted more. I often found myself shrinking to fit in, settling for what was comfortable, and even selling myself short. Once I finally accepted that we deserve success and we are blessed with the power to achieve it, I stopped playing small. I'm serious about building a life I love, and you should be too. I'm Denise Taylor of DeniseTaylor.live, and welcome to Embrace Your Power. I help women prioritize themselves, their success, and their happiness. Now let's meet this week's achiever whose story will inspire you to embrace your power and go. Well, hello there. It's Denise Taylor here. I am always excited to have you join me each and every week right here on Embrace Your Power. Now, this is the place where you can count on me to always encourage you to build a life that you love. You see, around these parts, we believe that God has given us power to do it. In fact, He said in His word, He did not give us fear. He gave us power. And when we embrace our power, we can be, do, have, and achieve anything that we want. Now, I believe you're going to be divinely inspired to go after the things that God wants to accomplish in your life. In fact, He wants to partner with you to do some amazing things. But here's the thing. When you do that, when you partner with God, you are going to experience satisfaction and fulfillment on the inside, and it's going to light you up. And that's what I want for you. I want you to experience what it's like to be lit up from the inside out. And so around these parts, that's what I encourage you to do. Embrace your power so that you can experience satisfaction and fulfillment. Now, this season, we have doubled down on your career success. And you may be asking yourself now, Denise, you said you wanted me to build a life that I love. And that is true. But I know that we spend so much time at work and that it is critical for us to have success at work if we truly are going to build a life that we love. And so this season, we've been talking a lot about how to achieve your success. I've been talking about getting promoted, and I believe promotion can happen in a few different ways. You can be promoted vertically up the corporate ladder. You can be promoted laterally to get new experiences, and you even can experience promotion through expanded scope and responsibility. All of that comes into play to help you achieve career success. But the question is, are you going after your career success? Are you relentlessly pursuing what it is that you have been created to achieve through your work experience? I want you to remove all of the excuses. I want you to finish strong so that you can set yourself up for success. Now, one of my big aha moments this week is that we are at the end of September. Now, being at the end of September means that the fourth quarter of the year is on the horizon. That's a big deal because the fourth quarter is what sets you up for the first quarter. And many of us, we decide to cruise into the end of the year. But I want to encourage you to keep your foot on the gas pedal of your career. Keep going for your career success. Don't let up. I want to encourage you to finish strong. I want to do that for a number of reasons, but the primary one is this: wherever you finish, you begin. So when you finish the end of the year cruising, you begin at a lower place versus if you kept accelerating your momentum, you will begin 2024 at a higher place. And so I want you to finish strong so that you can set yourself up for success. There's a ton of opportunity left in this year, and I want you to seize that in the interest of your career. There's a lot of decisions that get made around this time of the year, especially when it comes to identifying and assessing the needs that a lot of teams have. This is why at the beginning of the year, you start to see new positions get posted and new opportunities emerge. So what you do right now will set you up for success at the beginning of the year. And this is the reason why I want you to finish strong. Now, this weekend, I was away with my husband and I was coming back and I was listening to a number of things. And when I was listening to these podcasts, I was listening to a book, I was listening to a video on YouTube, I was listening to a number of things on my drive. But all of them were talking about the excuses that we are making to stop us from going for the success that we want. And I really started reflecting about how many times I hear excuses on discovery calls, how many times I hear excuses or with my clients, how many times I hear people allowing an excuse to keep their promotion hostage. And I like to use that terminology because the promotion belongs to you. But if you don't go after it, if you continue to allow an excuse to hold you back from going after your success, essentially that excuse has your success, has your promotion hostage. And so today I want to talk about some of the excuses that are standing in the way of you finishing strong, standing in the way of you achieving career success so that you can recognize how it is distracting and disrupting your career success journey. Now, in addition to sharing the excuses, I'm going to offer you some insight on how you can get through them. But the best way for me to support you is with a discovery call. My discovery calls will help you figure out your best next step to take. So the ultimate action is for you to book a time with me. When we connect, I will hear your specific circumstances and I will be able to make a recommendation on your best next step. Working with me begins with a discovery call, but I am today going to offer you some tips, but the best advice will come from you booking a call with me. You can access my calendar at www.callwithdenise.live. Select a time and then I will give you a call. We could connect more. But let's dive into some of these excuses. Let's talk about what's holding your promotion hostage. The first excuse I want to talk about is the one when we say to ourselves, I'm not sure I can do it. We understand the opportunity is there. We understand the promotion is available, but we keep holding ourselves back with this excuse. I'm not sure I can do it. And essentially, at the core of that is a fear of failure. We're worried about not being able to measure up or meet the new responsibilities or expectations that may come from us going for that next opportunity. And to that, I will say that your success hinges upon your ability to receive help. Help is always available. We can seek out training opportunities. We can seek out confidence building opportunities. We can seek out partnership with creating goals, and we can even seek out support for increased responsibilities. But you have to be willing to allow yourself to be more resolved in who you are and who God has created you to be and what he has created you to be able to accomplish. Not being sure that you can do it doesn't mean that you can't. This mindset needs to be disrupted by you taking action towards your goal. The second excuse that often comes up is it will be too much to juggle. And this is a real life scenario, especially if you're juggling a lot of things in life. Work-life balance is absolutely a real thing that many people struggle with. But what I will say to you is communication is the key. You have to discuss what it is that you need, what support is necessary, and be available for people to come in and support you in that way. So it could be a conversation with your leadership or your manager. It could be a conversation with your partner. It could be a conversation with your family. Anything that can be around you to support the balance that's necessary is something you have to be available for and communicate your needs to. If you continue to show up like you have it, people will let you have it. So that communication for work-life balance is something that begins with you. And many times what I find is we take it all on and fail to delegate. We fail to share responsibility. But instead of holding yourself back from pursuing more career success, you may need to be asking yourself, how can I be available for support from those who are around? The next excuse that often comes up is I'm just not sure about it. And what's really undergirding someone who just operates in this degree of uncertainty about opportunity is the reality that they are very comfortable with the familiar. They are often stuck in their comfort zone. And instead of focusing in, they just stay zoomed out and refuse to go after success. In this instance, where you are saying you are unsure, you need to drill in. You need to go deeper with the opportunity so that your focus becomes clear about what it is that you want to pursue. Comfort envelops you. Focus begins to pull you out. And so if you are saying to yourself, I am unsure, focus on the potential, focus on the opportunity, and allow it to draw you out. The next excuse that often comes up is I'm not good enough. The undergirding cause of that is usually imposter syndrome. It's feeling like you don't deserve the promotion or you aren't qualified for it, or you just may not be enough despite evidence to the contrary. You have to remind yourself of your accomplishments and skills. This is when you need to go back to a brag binder and really begin to saturate your mind and your thoughts of what you have already achieved. Your achievements and your accomplishments speak for themselves. They were not just given to you. You earned them, and you need to allow yourself to rest in that. And so if you're waffling with these perspectives of not being good enough, you need to make sure that you really are intentional about taking in your journey of success. And even more than that, I would submit to you that you should seek support. This is the excellent way that coaches and mentors can come in and help affirm you by giving you objective feedback that will help you to accept your greatness. The next excuse that often comes up is, I don't know how to do it. And this usually is a lack of confidence, like you're lacking the necessary skills or experience for the new role. And in this particular instance, there may be some realness to it, but you have to be willing to grow in the experience. You have to be willing to trust the process. Invest in your personal development and in skill building opportunities. And I will also say this, that oftentimes the skills that need to be built to help you feel more confident are not job related skills. They're the skills that are necessary to help you navigate the environments that you find yourself in, the decisioning that you have to be accountable to make. Those type of skills are excellent opportunity for coaches and mentors to come in and allow you to be supported. But I will say that practicing self-compassion and allowing yourself to understand that you can be compassionate towards yourself and not always so hard will allow your goodness to be realized by you. The next excuse that often comes up is, I'm not sure if I will like it. And at the root of this is the fear of change. This is when we're resisting leaving the familiar because of the uncertainty that comes with new responsibilities or new teams and roles. You have to be willing to embrace change. Growth is where your opportunities expand, but growth requires you to be open to change. And so you have to allow yourself to lean into that. And again, this is where support can help you navigate that effectively. You can remain in connection with those who are familiar, but you have to be available for those who are new and a part of the change. The next excuse is that you aren't sure how to negotiate those spaces, whether it's conversations about the role, about compensation, about other things that come along with new responsibilities. And in that, I will say, research and information is your friend. The more informed you are, the better you will function. And so this is where you begin to tap into what is it that you need to know so that you can show up effectively in that new conversation about what it is that is best for you. The next excuse is, I'm comfortable where I am. And at the heart of this is security. And I understand that, especially if you have a trauma background. You love security. You don't want it to change. But just because it's something new doesn't mean it's not stable. You have to begin to realize that stability can be realized in new experiences too. Be open, be available. What makes it stable is you. What makes it stable is you becoming comfortable where you are. Now, again, learn what you need to know about the opportunity, about the team, do some research, do some conversations with people who are part of that environment, but don't allow comfort to keep you locked in and unavailable for change. Change is where your growth is. Just because it's stable doesn't mean that it's good for you to stay. Stability can be realized in new places too. The next excuse is, I'm not sure I can handle it. This is where you begin to assess yourself personally, and you may be more sensitive to any concerns you have, your responsibilities, the things that you may be juggling personally with your health or other personal factors. And this is where just being authentic and transparent makes the difference. If you're forthright with the things that you're juggling, they can be taken into consideration, and accommodations can be made for you that makes sense to support your growth and to support you being in the opportunity. Don't hide behind it. Allow it to be something that you bring to the table so that it can be a factor at the appropriate time for discussion. They can accommodate your needs. Concessions can be made for you. You are valuable enough to warrant that. So be open to sharing what's really going on. And then finally, the last excuse I want to cover when it comes to our career success is, what if it doesn't work out? And this is rooted in possibly a lack of ambition. This is rooted in a little bit of contentment. This is rooted in a little bit of fear. What if it doesn't work out? You have to reflect on your long-term goals. What is it that you want to accomplish? And you have to be willing to go for it. Yes, you can have a plan B, but you got to give plan A a shot. Plan A is to allow yourself to experience that new opportunity. And then if it doesn't work out, you'll figure out what to do then. But we don't let that question stop us from going for plan A. You deserve a shot at your success. You deserve an opportunity to experience the success that you want and deserve. Now, ultimately, addressing these excuses will require a combination of self-reflection. It will require you to develop some skills. It will require you to be open with communication and seek support. That is the key. Oftentimes we find ourselves going it alone. This journey, this life journey that we are on, is not intended to be alone, not even at work. You can bring partners to the table to help you navigate your career success. Now, this entire season, the entire season of season 2 has really been focused on your career success. And if you've been tuning in, you've been hearing some incredible stories that have been full of wisdom of how these women have achieved career success. And all of them, practically all of them, have talked about mentoring relationships, coaching relationships, and how valuable they have been. And I know for myself, the same is true. Relationships matter when it comes to your career success. So the question I have for you, especially if you have found that one of those excuses that I covered has indeed held your career success hostage, it has your promotion hostage, what actions are you taking to bring partners to the table to help you navigate those circumstances? That's what I love to do for the women that I work with. I help women leaders achieve the career success they want and deserve. And in recent days, I added more to that line because I realize how important it is to do that in a way that makes you happy, that makes you healthy, and that makes you helpful. And that is what I want for you. Even more than embracing your power, I want you to be happy, healthy, and helpful. And so if you are going along and you know that you've been making any of those excuses, I welcome the opportunity to have a career breakthrough call with you. My discovery calls are so powerful because I ask you a series of questions to understand what's going on in your specific condition. Your circumstances matter because they're what you're dealing with every single day. And in our conversation, after I learn more, I make my recommendation on your best next step. And that takes into consideration all of my experience, my 30 years of corporate America experience, my experience at senior levels within the organization, and my experience working with women to help them accelerate their career. I use all of that to make a recommendation on your best next step. Anytime you talk to someone who has been there and done that, and is willing to give you the cheat codes to success, it's going to collapse your time. And so I welcome the opportunity to support you. Now, here's how you make that happen. You set up a time that works best for you. You access my calendar at www.callwithdenise.live. Once my calendar opens, you pick a date and time that works well for you. I will give you a phone call because that's the easiest. Not my representative, not my team. I'm going to give you a call because I want to take into consideration your specific dynamics, your specific circumstance, and make my own recommendation for your best next step. And so I invite you to absolutely book a call with me. It's free. It's about 45 minutes of my time committed to talking with you about your best next step. And I'll leave you with this. It was a quote from a sermon that I heard on my drive back home from my weekend away. When heaven wants to affirm you, it doesn't use opportunity, it uses opposition. And here's what I will add to that powerful statement. Don't let opposition hand you an excuse. I covered a number of excuses today, and many of us have allowed these excuses to hold us back from going after the career success that we want. And I want you today to free your career success, free your promotion. This excuse has held it hostage long enough. I want you to finish strong and set yourself up for career success in 2024 by finishing strong now. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. And next week, we'll be back with some more guests, some more wonderful guests who are coming to share their career experience. It's been a great journey, and I'll see you next week. Now, if you love this episode, you're going to want to access the free resource I curated just for you. The Power Leader Toolkit is absolutely free, and it includes 3 power-packed career transforming resources that will help you change the game and build the career that you want and deserve. It includes my powerful training, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful Women. Now, you can get your hands on this toolkit right now. And as I said, it's absolutely free. You can access it at www.powerleadertoolkit.live. Again, that's www.powerleadertoolkit.live. And of course, I'll be back next week with more power leader strategies to help you transform your career. But until then, remember to always embrace your power and go.